The moon hung low in the sky as Rose made her approach back to the clearing in the forest, seeing her mother, Jax, and Emily waiting for her. "Rose," her mother said, seeming both overjoyed and relieved to see her. "Oh, I'm so glad you're back," she said, dashing over and giving Rose another hug. "So, how did things go?" Well, it went without a hitch," Rose said. "There's definitely some things I have some questions about, but honestly, I'm not sure how to explain them." After reconnecting with her mother and the others, Rose began telling the story of her experience with the Hunter's Will, describing everything in great detail to her mother, Jax, and Emily, hoping that one of them might have a better idea or understanding. Well, it sounds like it's clear enough that your toxin has some sort of effect all its own. I actually might be able to give you an answer to that one. Your flower also sounds pretty interesting. Based on the way you described it, it sounds something like animal hypnotism, which, believe it or not, is not a fake thing. Animals actually do perform their own little hypnotic tricks, the scale of which depends on the creature. There are countless animals in nature that use illusions to protect themselves or hunt, so it's far from far-fetched. For example, some snakes have been known to use a hypnotic dance of sorts, using rhythmic swaying to confuse their prey before striking. Moths make themselves look larger, spreading their wings, giving the appearance of birds' eyes gazing at them, to give predators the impersonation of a larger predator, something more dangerous than they are. These type of things are common in nature, and as you're a more complex organism, it only makes sense that if you have something like that it would be more complex as well. If I were to hazard a guess of how it works, your flower petals can naturally act as a lure, most likely relying on something like beta sense waves. What? To put it basically, everyone's brains, animals included, have wavelength patterns. It's possible that your flower petals perform that little dance they do and emit that specific frame of light in order to put the animal in a specific mental state, perhaps curiosity or the arousal of hunger, even a sense of ease or calm. All of these things can really help a predator or disguise prey. It really doesn't matter which. Honestly, it would be more effective if you could show me. That way I could actually analyze some data on it. And as far as your toxin goes, well, I'd say the quickest way to resolve that issue is for you to use some. Well, use some on what? Rose replied. Well, on me, obviously. What? Rose said, sounding shocked. I don't think you know what you're getting into. And I don't think you know who you're talking to. Remember, I'm not all the way human. My brain isn't exactly normal either, little missy. Poisons, toxins, things like that, they just don't work on me. But once they enter my bloodstream, my nanites are able to, well, break it down and rapidly analyze it. They do this to basically any internal threat, not only stopping it from affecting my system, but also creating a detailed analysis that can allow me to produce, well, treatments, antivenoms, and a myriad of other counteractive measures. So basically, if you juice me with a little bit of it, I should be able to tell you what it does, why it does it, everything. Well, are you sure you'll be okay? Rose asked, still feeling a bit wary about this. Yeah, I'm sure. Trust me. Okay, Rose replied. But just a little, she said, as she focused on trying to bring out her thorns. After a moment of focus, her nails began to extend as normal. And after that, she simply had to get angry. And drip, drip, her toxin in full form. Alright, now just give me a poke. Wherever you want. It doesn't really matter, as long as the toxin gets into my system. Okay, she said, raising one claw on the end of her pointer finger and giving Jax a jab in the arm. Ow! Oh my god! Oh, the pain! He shouted, grabbing his arm and clutching over. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Rose shouted. I didn't mean to. Are you okay? At which point, Jax started laughing. Oh, sorry, kid. I gotcha. Oh, I was watching your dad's movie too long, he said, laughing. That guy slayed me. I did not expect to find someone with such a good sense of humor on a planet full of plant people. It's almost infectious, really, he said, smiling with a bit of a chuckle, until suddenly the smile disappeared from his face. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is that? He said, seeming to stare off into space. Counteract. Block. Suppress, he shouted. And suddenly, Jax's body seemed to relax, staring off, no longer seeming to be focused on anything. Almost lost, like he was dazed. Jax? What's going on? I thought you said you'd be okay. This isn't another joke, is it? Because it's not funny. But Jax gave no response. He simply stood there, staring out, not moving or flinching. There was even a slight breeze that flew by, to which he shifted somewhat, but gave no real indicators. Jax, Emily said, you're starting to worry me. Why aren't you saying anything? Jax, Emily shouted, starting to grab him by the shoulders, shaking him. Oh, Emily, Jax said, slightly glancing over at his wife. Jax, what's going on? Oh, nothing's going on. And that's just fine. Don't you think it's just fine? In fact, wonderful. Wonderful is how I'm doing. Jax, why is everything wonderful? Well, why wouldn't everything be wonderful? Right here. This is a nice spot, Jax said, staring down at the ground, seeming completely content to be there. The grass here looks soft. I bet it's soft, Jax said, still staring at the ground. Okay, this is most definitely new. Suddenly, Jax let out what looked like a shiver as his body shook somewhat, shaking his head off a bit. Whoa. Oh, okay, done. That was a trip. Okay, I definitely need to boost the defenses for that one. For what? What happened? Rose shouted. Kid, that stuff, well, let's just say it packs a wallop. I've never seen anything like it. Even my nanites were having a hard time trying to keep up. It isn't just one thing, it's an evolutionary thing. It enters your system as a single chemical compound, yes, but it has a multifaceted genetic structure that alters itself. Basically, the moment it enters your system, it starts adapting itself to you specifically. It's like rapid small cell evolution, packed inside of a syrup, multiplying, changing, and adapting at an absolutely insane rate of speed, spreading throughout your entire body. It basically floods your body with an absolute feeling of tranquility. You basically juice people with a sense of calm that completely overwhelms everything. It's like being at peace with the universe, regardless of what the situation is. The world's going to hell around you. Everything's on fire. People are exploding. Limbs are flying past you. The sky is literally falling. Your entire planet's about to roll into the sun. It doesn't matter. You're simply okay, at peace with everything. So calm and content that even if someone were to kill you, you'd be just fine with it. Affecting your physiology, your neurology, altering your brainwave patterns, interfering with neurons. Oh, that is some complicated stuff. I have never seen any sort of toxin that complicated. In fact, I don't even know if you can really consider it a toxin. There's nothing poisonous about it. It's not even really a neurotoxin. In fact, it's almost the opposite, having a stabilizing effect on basically everything. It even kills rogue bacteria, regardless of whether they're harmless or not. Basically, the moment you juice somebody with that stuff, not only does it give them that utter sense of peace that'll let them stand around while you gobble them up, but it also clears their system of basically anything. Viruses, illnesses, infections, attacking cells that don't belong in the body exceptionally effectively. I've never seen anything like it. The level of genetic complication required to do something like that is extraordinary, mind-numbing to even think about. And I'm pretty sure the scariest thing about all of it is that I didn't really want to come out of it. In fact, I still kind of feel like going back to it. Jack said, shivering in place. That is scary stuff.